Republican frontrunner Donald Trump holding a surprise meeting with the chairman of the Republican National Committee. It happened right here in Washington. On the record, we'll take you inside that meeting. RNC Chairman Reince Priebus is here. But first, here's what Donald Trump told the O'Reilly Factor about that closed-door meeting.
It was a very good meeting. We met with Reince Priebus and the staff, and they're very good people, actually a terrific meeting, I think. And it's really a unity meeting. You know, we're leading by a lot. We have far and away the most delegates, millions and millions of votes more than anybody else, than Ted has or than, Kasich has. And we really, I think they wanted to really discuss, unity, and I like discussing unity, too.
Republican National Committee Chair Reince Priebus joins us. Good evening, sir.
Hey, Greta.
How would you describe that meeting with Donald Trump today?
Well, I don't think that was far off. I mean, first of all, I would just say it wasn't really a surprise meeting.
When was it scheduled?
I hate to ruin the fun. Days ago.
Well, that seems like a little bit of a surprise.
No, I mean, listen, I hate to ruin the fun, but when a candidate comes into town and says, hey, we're going to be in town having meetings, we want to stop by and say hello, hey, no problem, let's check with the schedule. It worked out. And the team came over, and we had a good meeting, and we talked about a little bit of the process, a little bit about convention, a little bit about, we did talk about unity and working together and making sure that when we go to Cleveland and we come out of Cleveland that we're working in the same direction. And part of that is just talking more and making sure that we've got open channels of communication. So it's pretty normal stuff, actually.
All right, well, you got three candidates who in the past couple of days seem to say, some overtly, that he will back out of the pledge to support the candidate in the event someone is named wins the nomination. Did you talk to him today about whether he will keep his pledge?
Well, look, I mean, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record about spoiling all the fun, but, I'm really not going to talk about what we talked about. And I can't have meetings with candidates if I'm going to turn around and talk about what we talked about. But I can answer the questions generally.
Ask it generally. I mean, is that a problem? I mean, all three candidates are now, it seems like you're trying to herd cats at this point.
Here's the issue. We're going into potentially, we don't know for sure, but potentially an open convention. So the candidates, I think, are going to posture a little bit as far as what they're willing to do and who they're willing to support and who they're not. I think people are counting noses. I think the selection of delegates is becoming very intense. We're not just talking about the allocation of delegates, who wins the states, but then after that happens, the actual selection of who's sitting in those chairs. And what candidates are now, portraying out for the public to listen to is, I think a bit of posturing. I'm not really worried about, in regard to supporting the eventual nominee or the party. They've all agreed to that by virtue of, in one case, signing our data agreement. They're not going to get the data and the tools of the RNC and run to be our nominee and tell me that they're not going to support the party. It doesn't work that way. They're running to be the nominee of our party. Our party exists, and they're going to, and one of them is going to be our nominee.
Looking at Wisconsin coming up on Tuesday, your home state, my home state, if Donald Trump doesn't win that state, have you looked at the math out into the future? Is it possible, let's say he ran the table after that, won everything, would he have 1,237?
Well, sure. I mean, it's possible.
He still could get that.
Right, but I mean, it's just like anything. I mean, for any of these candidates, I mean, the more states you don't win, obviously it has an inverse effect.
Kasich's out to get the 1,237.
And he's admitted that. But if no one gets to the majority, then you're going to end up in a case where you have an open convention, either in the first, second, third, or who knows how many ballots.
But I'm saying, who can still get the 1,000?
Cruz and Trump
and Cruz can still?
Yeah, both Ted Cruz and Donald Trump can still get to the magic number before Cleveland. And we could have a presumptive nominee before Cleveland. That's right.
All right, I got a Twitter poll here. Viewers, this is your chance at home to vote. After the convention, will the Republican Party be unified? Tweet yes or no using hashtag Greta. We'll show you your live Twitter votes throughout the show.
Right. It's always, the division sometimes is more fun, but believe me, unity.
You're going to get it.
The impossible is always possible with unity. There's no question.
The convention. Tell for planning purposes, if it is a, quote, open, contested, brokered, whatever will it last longer than we expect? I mean,
no.
It's going to just be those days.
That's right. I mean, we'll put whatever systems in place. We will put whatever systems in place. We will have meetings however long we need to have them in order to make sure that we not only have a nominee, both for president, and remember, there's a separate vote for vice president as well. No one's talking about that, but there's another vote for vice president. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to have a program, and there's going to be a convention with obviously our nominee to be concluded on Thursday night.
All right, we got some healing to do. The voters here a little bit. We're just early on the polls. They're not so persuaded, but it's early in the show. Who knows? Maybe they'll be back to anyway. Mr. Chairman, always nice to see you. We'll be watching Wisconsin on Tuesday. Thank you, sir. And you can see Donald Trump's complete interview tonight on the O'Reilly Factor tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.